Call the school board meeting to order of October 15th. Dave, you take the roll call, please.
Ron.
Here.
Dick. Here. John.
Here.
Norm.
Here.
Dave's here. Joe.
Here.
Jim.
Present. Proof of notice.
As stated in the agenda.
Approval of the agenda. I'll move. Motion by Norm. Second. Second by Joe. Any questions on the agenda? Norm?
Aye.
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 Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried 7-0. Citizen comments. Sue?
I would like to share with you some information on a large group of online tech companies which share student data. It's called, it's kind of funny, it's called Project Unicorn. On its webpage, it states, Project Unicorn is an effort to improve data interoperability within K-12 education. We aim to create a community of innovators who make the broader case for secure interoperability by determining shared priorities, working in partnership with school systems and vendors to understand its importance and benefits, creating a demand-side push for interoperability through partnerships, and educating buyers to consider the total cost of ownership through informed comparison of vendors. And they listed interoperability as the seamless, secure, and controlled exchange of data between applications. On it they say, with a shared mission to leverage data to create better outcomes for students, save time for teachers, and increase efficiencies for schools, which we've come together to create an uncommon alliance dedicated to furthering interoperability within the K-12 education space. I have a list of some of the technologies that were used in this district now and in the past. These are the partners. I put it all together, you know, just going around the internet finding out who's partnering with who. International Society for Technology and Education is partnered with Bright Bites, you're using this year. They're partnered with American Institutes for Research, and also McREL, Keepsafe, and Common Sense Education. Illuminated Education is partnered with Canvas, EduClimber, iReady, Smarter Balance Assessment Course Consortium, AimsWeb, Google, Google Education, Epiphany Learning, IXL Learning, Edgenuity. And then PowerSchool is partnered with Raptor, that new technology that you have, that you swipe, you know, driver's licenses, and that's partnered with Identimetrics, which is a fingerprinting system in school, and partnered with Microsoft and Parchment, where you get your transcripts, right? Okay, what I found a little concerning is that the American Institute for Research is involved. It's a behavioral and social science research organization. What are they doing involved in education? I would like to know that. I have, you know, you can even look it up yourself. I'll give you each copy, and you can connect the dots like I did. Okay, well, I guess that's all I have to say.
Okay,
Thank you.
Okay, resolution 181982, approval of minutes of the previous meeting. Motion for approval. Motion by Joel, seconded by Norm. Questions on the minutes? Joe?
Aye.
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 Aye. Motion carried 5-0-2. Dave, any communications?
Yes, we have one from Village of Kioski. I believe everybody has a copy of it, about how that village and town of Williamstown, they're now become one. Just an information like that.
Okay. Jim, you ready for a treasurer's report?
Yes. Treasurer's report for Monday, October 15th, 2018. Total of expenditures for all funds September of 2018 was $1,381,656.70. Our current investments, the state investment pool, general fund has $2,074,291.63. Interest earned of $2,643.38. Debt service has 14 cents. Non-refundable debt, $1,256.55, earned interest of $2.12. The total investments, government investment pool, $2,075,548.32. Our Teresa State Bank account, general fund has $991,589.39, earned interest of $2,321.75. Money market general account has a balance of $10,912.65, has earned interest of $16.12. And money market fund 46 trust has a balance of $1,211.73, earned interest of 90 cents. For total investments, $1,003,713.77. Total cash investments as of the end of September, $3,079,262.09.
Okay, you've heard the treasury report. We have resolution 181983. Need a motion for approval. So moved.
Second.
Motion by Dave, second by Dick. Any questions on the treasury report?
Is there any way to take a look in, we have interest rates going up in banks, and I'm not sure if,
Those
how
will be
great our rate is right now, but any chance we could take a look at that again?
It's pretty close.
It is pretty
Yeah.
close.
I
Okay,
mean,
I just wanted to make
2%.
sure. Well, I know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Over.
Usually,
See,
the rest gives us a little more than what
Okay, I just wanted to.
the.
And we're putting a little more in the state pool now than we had for us.
Okay.
I'll still touch base with Ryan. Just
Yeah.
do a gut check.
No, I had talked to him about this.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, and sometimes he don't have this number up to date, but he was gonna try and keep it up to date, because I questioned him when it was 1%. He said, we gotta be getting more than that.
Yeah, exactly, okay. I
Sometimes
appreciate
you
that.
don't put it in right. You don't know the current,
Okay.
Well, okay.
you don't figure backwards.
Going back kind of full circle, there was a time, we actually met with Teresa State Bank, and they agreed to give us a larger interest
Yes.
rate. Because we were at 1%, it was just locked. So then they agreed to match what was going on the state investment, which is awesome. So, I mean, to me, that's pretty aggressive. So if we look at history, that's very high.
Well, no, it is, I'm just saying.
We would have to leave the state investment pool or trust the state bank, obviously, to do so.
Okay.
So
We're
we'll look
insured
at
with
it.
the investment pool,
Right.
not with the bank.
Okay.
They had to give us some extra assurances back.
No,
they did.
we own their buildings.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
So,
Any other questions? Dave?
Aye.
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 7-0.
Also attached there was bills related to our referendum.
yeah, but they, oh, okay. I'll just check.
Resolution 181984, approval of regular semi-monthly bills. Motion by Norm, seconded by
Second.
Joe. Questions on the bills? Hearing none, Norm.
Aye.
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 Aye. Motion carried 7-0. Resolution 181985, approval of per diem. Motion?
Take off one of my 927s.
Need a motion though.
I'll move.
Nord, second by
Second.
Dave. So 927 off of Jim,
Yes.
one of them?
And Cecil offered me off.
Okay. Anything else? Nord?
Aye.
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 Aye. Motion carried 7-0. Administrative report?
We've got Tom here tonight and Travis here.
Want to do those right away?
Yeah.
Who wants to go first? Let's do Travis.
I always get the short straw. Okay, just a quick update on, well, the high school first. This week we'll have paving going in. We have lights being set in the parking lot. Lobby stairs are almost complete. Probably concrete this week, I would say. Almost done. Flooring, we did get flooring installed in the science rooms, the 3 science rooms in the science area. The new restrooms down by the cafeteria are almost complete, almost ready for use. Mayville Middle School, we're looking at the stairs are complete and just waiting on the handrails.
Got an email this week. Just saw an email this afternoon. Looks like they're made,
Yep.
ready to be installed.
Yep, so hopefully they'll go in this week. So I think that's about it. That's all I have.
Flooring for some of the new flooring that we're waiting for. The floor had to cure still.
Yeah,
To use
so-
simple words, it had to pass a moisture test. So this last week, the test was favorable. So looks like we can start to make some progress there with the fitness center floor will get installed. It's just nowadays with the way that they mitigate water is that there's a barrier underneath the concrete, so the only place that the water can go is up. So then when we have, like the fitness center was pretty much open for a while with garage doors and different doors and windows that were not installed. So the structure was there, but it was still open to the elements. So it really wasn't curing, it wasn't drying out. So it's all closed up, heat's on, fans are moving, so the space is drying out great. So that's excellent news for us. It's one of those things where it's better to take our time. Otherwise, we have to actually put down like a moisture mitigation product, which is pretty expensive. And if we don't have the rush, don't do it. So everything
Or
looks
we
like
can use the
it's-
loop warranty.
Well, yeah, or if you go too fast, yeah, you don't, you'll actually lose your warranty for doing that. So we will not be doing that. This is gonna be a long time here, so, looks like we're in a good position to see some progress. The whole project is actually ahead of schedule, about a month still to this day. So, we just started waiting for product often. So like, flooring for the cafeteria, we got a message it won't be delivered, actually it won't ship until October 17th. So the space is ready, it's just waiting for the product.
And they're actually gonna try to push ahead the bathrooms upstairs. They wanna maybe think about doing them over Christmas break. So it's about a 6-week process, so we'll just be looking at using downstairs bathrooms instead of the upstairs bathrooms, so. But, yeah, they're pushing ahead and everything's looking really promising and ahead of schedule.
Okay, just stay right there.
Okay?
Now we're gonna go on to resolution 181992, approve the hire Tracy Ramirez, part-time custodian. Need a motion for approval? So moved. Motion by Dick, second by Nora. So you wanna give us an update on this?
Tracy's been in the medical industry for the last 7 years. She's been in charge of making sure that the surgery center at Waupun Memorial Hospital has been clean and acceptable levels of cleanliness for surgery, so that's pretty high. She's what they call a Category 2, or has been a Category 2 custodian there, which means she can clean walls, floors, ceilings, which is like almost the highest step or the highest level of a custodian at the hospital. So, but yeah, she comes with a lot of experience, and she comes with that hospital queen mentality, which is something that you know, will be beneficial to us at the school district. So,
She's filling a vacancy that we've had since the beginning of the school year.
yes.
I see she-
Yeah, so she just lives right down the street, so getting to work shouldn't be a problem.
Any questions for Travis? Dick?
Aye.
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 Motion carried, 7-0. Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, Tom. Give us an update.
Good evening, everybody. Well, we're getting to the conclusion of the regular season of the fall sports and getting ready for the playoffs. This week is a real exciting week for us. Just about every one of our sports teams is actually participating in WIA playoffs this week. And I'll start with volleyball. They ended up the season second in the conference, and their season is done. It's been done for a couple weeks. Obviously, due to the weather, you can't play tennis too late in the year, but they took second place. We had 2 athletes make it all the way to sectionals. Elena Hazelberg and Jenna Pasberg made it to sectionals this year, and they did a great job out there. Our volleyball team is traveling to Bigfoot tomorrow night in the first round play of the WIA volleyball tournament. So they got to travel to Walworth, Wisconsin, which is down by Lake Geneva. They are the 11th seed in their tournament. Hopefully they win, and then they'll play Thursday. Girls cross country ended up as conference champions. Coach Berry with another one of his, he's up to like 55 conference championships or something, but he's been doing it a long time. So. But he's got a great group of girls running. The boys took 6th, and we are actually hosting the WIA sectional track meet at the Mayville Golf Course Friday at 4 o'clock. So we got a lot of things going on there. Soccer plays Thursday in the WIA playoffs. They are the 10th seed, and they play Central Wisconsin Christians, and they need to avenge a 4-2 loss a couple weeks ago to them, so they're excited to play those guys. Football finished up 3-2 in the conference, 3rd place in the flyweight. We managed to get a 4 seed, so we get to host our first playoff game since 2007 at Raydon Field. So we got a lot of work to do on the field. Travis and I have been in conversations on how we're going to get that finished and get that ready to go, because Friday night it took a pretty good beating. So a lot of work to be done there. So we're real excited about that. We're gonna have a little pep assembly on Thursday to recap the sports season. Publicly announce our all-conference athletes in all of our sports in front of the student body. So a lot of excitement this week, a lot of things going on, especially Friday for us, but it should be a really good time. I'd also like to publicly thank the Athletic Booster Club for a $3,000 donation that went to a wrestling mat. We're actually purchasing a WIA state wrestling mat after the season this year, so instead of paying about $12,000 for a wrestling mat, we're going to get it for about $7,000, and the Booster Club paid $3,000 of that. The wrestling club is pitching in $1,500 of that, and then the athletic department is pitching in the rest. So it's pretty well needed, but we really need to improve our wrestling numbers. That's one of our goals this winter and in the future. So that's really about it for the fall sports. We've got winter sports coming up, and do we want to talk about winter coaches yet? Or?
It'll be coming up, yeah.
Okay. That's really about all I have. Any questions?
No? Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah, you can stay.
Don't go away.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All right, that's what I was going to wonder.
So we have resolution 181989, approval of 2018-19 winter sports coaching contracts. So motion by Nora, seconded by Dave.
Okay, the basketball staff on the boys' side, Matt Hertini is entering his 2nd year as the head basketball coach. He'll be assisted by John Schultz, who's been in the boys' program for quite some time. Recently, a rookie teacher in our district, Austin Kneprath, he's going to take over the role as our freshman JV2 coach. Tyler Walker, former student of Mayville High School, he played basketball at Concordia University of Mequon. He'll be the top varsity assistant. Mike Cervase and Troy Rosedahl have been coaching at the middle school level for quite some time now. Well, Mike's second year, but Troy's been there for a while. Matt's got 4 volunteers helping him. Jim Drinkwine is in town here. Ben Compton, I believe he is a youth ministry guy from Fellowship, or Christian Life Fellowship Church. I met him earlier when he showed interest to coach football, but at the time he wasn't right for him. Mark Wolf has been around the program for a couple years. And Antoinette Spencer, she works with Matt, and she was an assistant college coach at Concordia from what I understand. I was fortunate to meet all of these people at their CBA clinic on Saturday morning, so I got to spend a little time with them. I knew most of them already, but I got to meet Antoinette. She goes by Tony, very nice lady. So that staff is put together there. The girls program, they have 2 levels, varsity and JV2. Liz Cook is entering her 4th season. And Jeff Voss, who had coached with the boys program for a while, took last year off, and he's one of our transportation bus drivers. And he's going to come and coach the girls JV for Liz. Danny Steiner and Kate Krubsack had coached and volunteered last year, and now they are volunteer coaches again. Vince Wild and Austin Haig are our co-wrestling head coaches. They've been doing this for their 3rd year now coming up, so they're co-head coaches. And Cooper Herning has been doing the middle school, and Mike Schuett, who is one of the professionals in town. He's a wrestling fanatic, and he will help out their program as a volunteer. Valerie Christian is our head girls volleyball coach. She will coach the volleyball 8th grade at the middle school, and Valerie, did I say it backwards? I might have said that backwards. Sarah's the 8th grade, and she's our head volleyball coach, and she's still coaching right now. And Valerie Christian is the JV2 coach right now. She's going to coach the 7th grade. So that would be the looks of the winter sports staff for the upcoming year.
Any questions for Tom on these coaches?
I'll make one comment. It's just that there's a comp model that all these numbers are coming from. They're not just randomly selected. Sure. So it's based upon the base from 2010-11 with specific percentages that are based upon how long the season is, how that kind of stuff. So years of service too. And actually later on, when it comes to club advisors, I included that in there so you can actually see it. And this is that comp model is almost identical to what these numbers are. So,
Are you concerned about the numbers in wrestling?
Yes, very much so.
What are they now?
I think, well, last year I think we had 7 or 8. One of our wrestlers that's returning this year tore his ACL in football, so he's not going to be able to participate. We're hoping to get, and me as the football coach, I'm working pretty hard to help get some of these guys to come out for wrestling. I know there's a couple guys that are really thinking about it. I know one for sure that had played basketball in the past is going to wrestle this year, and I know there's another one that's thinking about it. So my goal here is if we're going to have a quality sports program, we have to fill all of our weight classes in wrestling. And it's hard to go to a wrestling match when you got to forfeit 6 matches, like we did last year. They did have some pretty nice wrestlers last year. Joe Klein made it to the sectional. The 2 Schlender boys did really well last year. And, we got one of the Schlender boys returning. So, once you start getting a little bit of success, that helps get more kids participating. And, moving up to the high school, the wrestling room will be where the current weight room is. And they're going to start wrestling up there. So that can only help to have varsity wrestling practicing inside the high school building. So I think that'll help, but I am concerned about the wrestling numbers, and I've talked to both Austin and Vince about let's really get, you got to be paid to get some kids out because it's from an economic standpoint, you better, we got to get the numbers out to justify the expenses for that. So.
and then as far as the split goes, that's new this year with Coach Hertini
Yes.
actually saying, hey, he's bringing in, splitting his contract with Tyler.
Yeah, he wanted to make sure Tyler came on board and got some compensation, so he wanted to split his head coach pay and give Tyler Walker some of his compensation because that's not an additional paid coaching spot. So that's where that came from.
I got a question with the younger kids and the coaches. Is that something that you're involved with?